I wanted to say also a very special welcome and recognition to a man who was a minister of a very small island state, a state with only less than 100,000 people in the Indian Ocean. And this gentleman is really a global player when it comes to travel and tourism. When he was a minister, he was all over the world. After he was no longer a minister, he's still all over the world. And it's really someone who knows the global travel space and global travel industry. We're very happy to have Alain St. Ange with us here. Welcome, Alain.
Good morning, Jürgen. Good morning, everybody, or good evening to those in the other part of the world. I think it is always a pleasure to see the tourism fraternity gather together. It is always a pleasure because as we are getting towards the end of this COVID-19 difficulty, it is important that the world of tourism rallies together. When I saw Vijay in the lineup this morning, and I wanted to tell him that soon when I come through one of my first travels post-COVID, we've all been seated at home doing virtual talks. One of my first trips, I will stop in Singapore on the way to another country in your part of the world. But it is important today that the world doesn't look at the past and say, we're going to redo what we did before. It'll be useless. Every conference that we've assisted has shown clearly that we have to find a new dimension to tourism if we really want it to work. We know, and when we're waiting for the Minister of Indonesia, it is quite clear that when these countries pop up today, looking at how best to reposition themselves, we have to look at our key USPs. Every country has them. How do we put it forward? How do we increase visibility? How do we keep being relevant? Will be the challenge that we all have as destinations. Seychelles is in one way lucky that, and I applaud the CEO of the tourism board, Shirin Francis, who's here. We are lucky that we think tourism, we breathe tourism, we eat tourism because it is the pillar of our economy. It collapsed since COVID. It collapsed because we are so dependent on tourism, the economy suffered immediately. But probably now that government has announced the reopening, and Shirin is better placed to talk about it, reopening of tourism on the 28th of March, we will see that as we collapse fast, we will also rebound very fast because we need tourism to work. But what Seychelles does, every part of the world can do. Every single country of the African continent, the 54 states, can do the same thing. The whole of the Asia bloc or the South American bloc or Europe itself. We know we need to revive this industry to keep the air links moving. When the air links move, we then have transport to be able to do trade together. So how we position that is what we will hopefully discuss today and move it forward. Today is an anniversary day. We say congratulations that we, a year ago, looked forward to repositioning tourism. And it is good that we are alive, kicking, and survived the pandemic. And apart from Cuthbert, who really caught it in a very bad way. But the rest of us managed to survive it by being at home and working from home. Let us enjoy this anniversary discussion today. And as we wait for the minister from Indonesia, let us look at our key USPs. Let us put them forward and find new ways how we're going to tell the world that we have key USPs. Thank you very much, everybody.